Good morning, everyone. It's Kay Kaltoff, and we're doing a Stampin' Chat with Kay. Welcome. It's so great to have you here. We're going to make beautiful, beautiful birthday cards today. Oh, and you're already sharing. You're probably wondering what I will give away. I am going to give away Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper. So this is a 6x6 pack of paper. I'll split the pack, so each winner will get 24 sheets. It's a great pack of paper, perfect for this time of year. Good morning, hello. Oh, it's so good to see all of you. Thank you for joining me. Wonderful. So great to be here. Oh, thank you for sharing. All right, I am going to get started. We have so much to share. So I had my demonstrator meeting last week, and as always is the case, I get showered with cards and projects, and I am going to share a few of those with you. So this one was created by Michelle Baranek. She's in my downline group in Wisconsin, and she sent me the cutest little treat holder. And so I just want to inspire you too by sharing it with you. It's from the Freezing Fun bundle. And this is what it looks like. It holds 4 Hershey Kisses. Or no, 4 Hershey Nuggets, not kisses. Nuggets. It's all good. Kisses, nuggets, it's all good, right? But isn't it cute? So I'm going to open it up for you because this is kind of the fun part. So when you open it up, there's a little acrylic or acetate piece of paper so that the greeting pops up when you open it up. Super cute. And then when you look on the inside of the box, cute little wrapped up Hershey Nuggets. I love that. I have such creative downline members. Thank goodness, because their leader isn't always that creative. Then I have a downline member who dropped this off for me. It's the Gorgeous Posies project kit. Now, I've shared this before, but I want to throw up one of these cards because they're great, quick and simple cards. This was shared with me from my downline member named Dawn Michaels. So pretty. So quick and easy projects are always good, right? So this is the Gorgeous Posies project kit with the coordinating stamp set. So much prettier in real life than the catalog. You can't even believe it. The next card I received was from a downline member here locally, and she created a card with the Free as a Bird stamp set using the Nature's Roots dies and then also the Ornate Floral embossing folder. And this is a little bit of a fun fold, so I'm going to open it up for you. Aren't those greens pretty? We need some greens here in Minnesota because it's pretty white out there. So really nice little fun fold. And you can see she also used the Stitch Nested Labels dies, which we'll be using today in our card. So thank you so much, Janine Knipple. I love it. I always love everything that you do. And my next card that I received in my mailbox is from one of our watchers. So a little shout out to Marcia K. Lakes. I love that she likes to use her middle name when she was writing her note to me because it's the same as my name, which is pretty cool. But I have a couple of things I want to share with you about this card. First of all, the way she mailed it. I think sometimes we don't really know how to mail cards with embellishments, so I'm going to share with you a little tip that really makes a difference, and Marcia's card proves it. But first, let me show you the card. And she used the Loyal Leaves stamp set, which I have not actually purchased yet. That is on page 32 of our annual catalog. So that's what you see in the background. And also she used the Love of Leaves bundle. It's just a beautiful card, Marcia, and I just really appreciate that you sent it to me. And she said she was inspired by a picture in a magazine, I believe. And so she just took off from that inspiring photo. So I'm guessing possibly in the magazine one of the leaves had lots of dewdrops on. So she used lots of rhinestones on one of the leaves, which can make it tricky to mail. So I am going to share with you what she did. So it's so cute. She decorated her envelope on this side, and then she even put a little sentiment in the back. So when you're opening up the envelope, you can see a cute little sentiment on the back. But this was her secret, because look, there's no pop through of any rhinestones. Everything is just perfect. So her little trick was to take a very thin piece. I mean, it weighs nothing. It's a very thin piece of foam. Sometimes you'll see this packaging when you order something a little more on the fragile side. So just cut those to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 and use them to layer your cards. And then also I recommend putting that, so it would look like this when you pop it into your envelope, and then make sure that your rhinestones are covered. And then when you put it in your envelope, make sure that your rhinestones face to the back, and it seems like you have less trouble. Now you can also use just a piece of cardstock over the top. Now there are a couple of things I do not recommend doing. Oh, and I have to show you the inside too. Of course, Marcia decorated inside and out. But one thing I recommend that you don't do is fold your card like this. Because when you fold your card like this so that the outside is to the inside, it sort of seems like it's going to be really protected, and one would think that would work really well, but it really doesn't. Because what happens is all of those rhinestones pop through and make divots and dents on the part of the card that is open. Plus, it's so weird to pull a card out of an envelope and see the inside first. I just don't really care for that. And I just want to tell you, because some people do mail cards to me that way. And of course, I appreciate the gesture that you're mailing a card to me. But it kind of ruins the effect when you see the inside first, and then when all of the rhinestones have made divot marks on the inside of the card because of folding it that way. So I would recommend, I would rather see you, of course I don't, do I have anything that's sized properly? Of course not. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Take a piece of cardstock. This is what I'm using in my video today. Take a piece of cardstock and just cover it like this. It just works a lot better when you put it in the mail. All right, and probably a little bit thicker cardstock would be even better than Whisper White. I was just showing you Whisper White because that's what I had on hand. All right, so then, do we have another one? We do. Okay, so you know that Stampin' Up! Recently had On Stage at Home for its demonstrator, so another one of my downline members made a card with new stuff that she got in her pre-order, because since we attended On Stage, we could order early. And so I'm going to share with you a sneak peek of things coming out in January. So here it is, and she used the Dandy Wishes dies, and that is part of the bundle that's called the Garden Wishes bundle. And then look at that paper. So what's really cool about this paper is it's an ombre paper. So she even decorated the envelope. So there's a slight ombre look on this. And that ombre paper is a 6x6 paper pack that's going to be a celebration item. So it's really, really pretty. One of my favorites. In fact, I already, you know what, I think I have it pretty handy. Just give me a second here. I think I have it handy. I thought I had it. I do have it handy. So I was playing around and I got the Oh So Ombre 6x6 Designer Series paper too, and I made up a little sheet to share with you. And this is the ombre paper. So I cut it into long strips so you could see the beautiful ombre-ness of this paper. Isn't it gorgeous? And it's a really unique color combination. So get a load of this color combination, you guys. It's Blackberry Bliss, Granny Apple Green, Bermuda Bay, and Rococo Rose. Who would have ever thought those colors would look so amazing together? But they do. They just are stunning. Stunning in every way. So, really exciting things coming up from Stampin' Up! All right, and then I have 3 more cards to share with you. And these all use the Kirby Christmas stamp set. And you can get the whole bundle. It's called a variety bundle for some new stuff coming out. But the Christmas one is just limited edition. It'll only be around through the end of December. So I'm going to share with you some of that. So look at this one, paired up with those little bear die cuts. How cute is that? So I've had quite a few customers already order the curvy, the quite curvy bundle, and then they went ahead and just got the paper and the dies, or the paper and the Christmas set at the same time. So this background designer series paper, if you're wondering, that is from All the Trimmings product suite, and I'm just not sure what the name of the designer series paper is, but that's where that is from. And then here's one that doesn't use designer series paper, but look how elegant it is. Isn't it pretty? Oh my goodness. I know you guys enjoy this, so I hold it for a little bit longer so you can take a screenshot if you want to copy these. So pretty. And then the last card I'm sharing with you today is another one with the Kirby Christmas stamp set. Nice and simple and so easy to put together and just gorgeous. Yes, Diana, just gorgeous. All right, so there we have it. We have everything that I was going to share with you today. I did take a peek at my what's coming in my mail today. I've got even more cards coming in the mailbox today. So I can hardly wait till after this is all over and run out to the mailbox. So I will have more to share with you on Thursday. So I think what I'm going to do now is flip the camera down and we'll get started making this. So beautiful. Hi Joyce. Joyce just joined us. She made a card. Joyce, you'll have to go back and watch the replay because I just shared your beautiful card. So gorgeous. All right, give me a second to get everything set up here. So this is these are the beautiful cards we're making today because guess what? It sort of seems like all we do is Christmas. So I want to do something a little different because there's a lot of fall birthdays and the jar of flowers, which I think it's really easy to think of this as a summertime set. Here it is. You can purchase it as a bundle. It is not necessarily a summertime set. There are flowers in here that work well for fall or for winter, and of course for spring and summer. It's really an all-season stamp set, and the jar is so much fun to use, as you'll get to see today when we do a punch out on our jar. And the colors are, and I know you're going to love this because look at these fun colors. I mean, talk about warming up your crafting space. These colors will warm it up and make you so happy while you're crafting. So we have the beautiful new in colors here. I guess they're not so new anymore. They've been around probably 6 or 7 months. But we have Cinnamon Cider. I finally got the name down. I always wanted to call it Cinnamon Spice, but it's Cinnamon Cider. And then we have Bumblebee. And we're gonna use some real red in here to just give a little pop of color in that jar of flowers. So let me set this aside and let me show you some other things we're using with this card. We are also, now you may not have noticed this, but I'm gonna show you again. The jar of flowers does not include sentiments. So you're gonna have to find a set of sentiments to use with your jar of flowers. Now I can recommend some sentiments. This is called the Peaceful Moment Stamp Set. You can purchase it still as a bundle, so you would have all of these fabulous dies that go with it. The Peaceful Moment Stamp Set is a really good all-around, all-occasion stamp set. You have congratulations, sympathy, birthday, thank you, friendship. It's a really, really good one to use with the jar of flowers because, of course, you can use a jar of flowers for almost any occasion, and then you just are going to change out your sentiments. So the Peaceful Moments is a great stamp set to use with jar of flowers. And that's what we're using. So we've got our happy birthday here, and then we've got the sentiment set that says, wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. A couple of other things that we're using on this stamp set include the very largest die from the Stitch Nested Labels die. So it's this one right here, the very largest one. It isn't often we use that large one, but whoops. Got to get it in the right spot. But today we're using the largest one of the Stitch Nested Labels. And we have our Tasteful Labels die here. And we're going to use this little pennant die right here. And that's going to be for our happy birthday. Now to elongate, I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, but you have your happy birthday, but we're going to cut out two, one in Whisper White and then one in Bumblebee, so we can make that sentiment appear to be a little bit longer. And then it adds pops of color as well. All right, so let me move this out of the way, and then I want to share with you the paper we're using. So you might be wondering, you know that Cinnamon Cider is a gorgeous paper, and we have a designer series paper here. It's called the 2020-2022 In Color Assortment 6x6 pack. So that is where I'm selecting the Cinnamon Cider background paper that you see in this card. And we also have the Flowers for Every Season 6x6 Designer Series pack, and which works beautifully with the Jar of Flowers bundle. And so we are going to use this really pretty Bumblebee floral piece right here. And then for the jar itself, we're going to be using this Cinnamon Cider one right here. All right, so now we're ready to get stamping and get rolling on this. I think I'm going to show you a little bit more before we go in too deep here. We're going to be using some Stampin Blends. So the colors that I'm using for Stampin Blends will be Daffodil Delight, Soft Suede, Old Olive, and Real Red, because we have to color the flowers. And then the inks that I'm using today include Cinnamon Cider, and then for the flowers, to stamp and color them and make them stand out a little bit, we're using Tuxedo Black. All right, so we're ready to roll. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is work with our card base. So we have the Cinnamon Cider paper here. I'm making 2 cards because we're going to give these away on Thursday. And the giveaway, as I mentioned before, will be the Feels Like Frost 6x6 Specialty Designer Series paper. It will be a half a pack. So each person winning the giveaway will get that. I would suggest that to get in the drawing, just let me know where you're watching from, make a couple of comments on this video, or share it on your timeline and let me know you've shared. That's one way to do that. So here we have 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. And what we're going to do is take our bone folder, an essential tool in your crafting area. Because what does a bone folder do? Well, it keeps your cards lying flat. If you've ever had something pop up and then flip over into an ink pad, you understand why you need a bone folder. I've just ruined too many pieces of paper not using one for many years, and now I use them and cannot go back. The next thing we're going to need is our inside panel. You saw peeks of this before. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. This is your basic Whisper White. And the inside is already decorated with some of the Cinnamon Cider Designer Series paper. We have a piece that has sort of that plywood look, and then a piece that, I don't know, to me it looks a little bit like a baked cookie. So perfect for those colors, right? So that's 3/4 by 4 inches. Then we can go ahead and we'll just loosely put these in here to get them out of the way for now. Oh wait, we should stamp on these. Let me get my Stampin' mat here. Oh dear, where is it? Could I already be missing something that I thought I had on my table and now it appears I do not? I was really sure I put that aside. Okay, give me 1 second. I gotta go find it. I found it. Thanks for your patience. See, I don't always stamp in my office. Sometimes I stamp in the living room while I'm watching, you know, the morning news or something. So that's where it was. All right, so we have our cinnamon cider ink. We're going to open that up. And we have our sentiment for the inside panel. Oh, I don't even need it. I was thinking I was stamping the flowers. Okay, so let me share something with you. When you're working with a photopolymer stamp set like this, it's a good idea to use a Stampin' mat. However, the Peaceful Moments is actually a red rubber stamp, so you don't need the Stampin' mat because it has its own cushion. However, I will need this in a few minutes, so I needed to get it anyway. So here we go. We're just inking it up. We're going to stamp it, oh, not quite a third of the way down. And there it is. Oh, and look how gorgeously that's stamped. It's really fun working with red rubber. All right. It's almost impossible to mess up as long as you go straight up and straight down. Now, the next thing we're going to do, actually, you know what? I am going to put these in here. So give me a second. I've got my Stampin' Seal. Let me flip this over. And we're going to set this in because I'm going to go ahead and put the designer series paper on the outside of our card next. So the main thing I have to remember is that I want this kind of cookie crumb designer series paper to be with this card and more of the plywood look to be with the other card. Okay, it's not plywood. It's a wood grain look. That sounds way more sophisticated than plywood. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to take those pieces of designer series paper. I'm going to give you the measurements here. So we have the floral piece, which is going to go on the left side of the card. This is cut 2 1/8 by 5 1/4. And then going on the right side of the card is the 6 by 6 designer series paper for the in colors. This is it's 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Why are you asking, did I not just do it right in half? Because if you just do it right in half, it looks too weirdly symmetrical. You want it just a little bit offset. I don't know. I mean, it just gives it a little bit more of a, I don't know, an elegant look if not everything is so even Steven. All right, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and glue this in. So I've got my multi-purpose liquid glue. I can already hear you saying, Kay, don't forget to check your paper. Okay, so we need so I'm going to set this aside. We're going to glue the, not plywood. What did I call this? Wood grain. We're going to do the wood grain on the other side. Boy, you can't tell I'm blue collar, can you? All right, so take your wood grain. It's a hard one for me to say. And you put that right over here on the right-hand side and just make sure that it's all about even. We're going to put this one over here on the left-hand side and then just wiggle that into place so that they both match up, which if you cut correctly, they will. So there we go. There's one. And now we'll do the cookie side. I'm saying cookies because this weekend I designed my December kit to go and I'm using cookie paper for a cookie card. All right, hold on. You guys are gonna love it, just wait. But I won't be introducing that until December. Right now I am frantically putting everything together for my November kits to go, which if you've already missed the deadline, so that was on Sunday, but whoa, we had a lot of sign-ups, so I'm kind of busy. All right, so we are gonna just set this in, again, wiggle it into place, and whoops, that just wiggled right out of the way. There we go. Perfect. There we are, the front of our cards. Now, what's next? Now we're going to need the Stampin' mat because we are going to need a piece of scrap paper about this big, because what you want to do is you're going to use those nested labels dies and you're going to cut out 2 nested labels if you're making 2 cards like I am. And then we're going to stamp the flowers on those. We are also going to need a scrap of Whisper White paper, another scrap of Whisper White paper, because one thing you may not have noticed about this card, look, it's popped up. So these flowers right here are on dimensionals. So you just cut out a portion of the bouquet and pop it up on dimensionals for something that just looks really extra special and elegant. So we're going to need that too. So this time we're going to use Tuxedo Black. So I'm going to just pick this up and give that a little wiggle. And then we're going to stamp this as high up, almost as high up as you possibly can. Perfect. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. And stamp that up. Again, I mean, it's a little hard for me to do because I can't quite see where I'm stamping with the camera in the way. But these turned out great. So, lucked out. So we're going to set that aside for a second. Then we're going to take our scrap paper and we're going to ink this up again. Oh, you guys are so cute. Thank you so much for all your sweet comments. I can look at those while I'm stamping. Yvonne is telling me she loves the fonts and sentiments. I do too. They're so, they're elegant, but yet they have a touch of whimsy in them, which makes them appropriate for a lot of different occasions. So you can use them for happy or sad occasions because you kind of see what you need to see depending on the occasion. All right, so here we are. So let me tell you about coloring, because I'm going to teach you what you need to do here for coloring. So I'm going to get out my colors, and don't worry, I did pre-color, but I do want to share with you. Hold on, I've got to grab a couple more things. Here we go. I do want to share with you how this is done because you're going to color both the same. However, in this one right here, you don't need to color the outside because you're going to be fussy cutting this out. So this is the way we're going to color it. We're going to take light real red, Stampin' Blend, and you just are going to color 2 things red. And I'm just coloring them all red. And then you can go back in and accent it with the dark real red. So that flower needs to be colored real red, and then this little flower up here will need to be colored real red. So I'm just doing that real quickly to show you what that looks like. Then you can go back in with your dark real red, and you can just accent kind of where the lines are. So, and for this flower, I just tip the edges with real red, with the dark real red. Then another thing you're going to do is you'll notice there's centers to these flowers. So in that case, you're going to take the light soft suede and just put a little touch of that light soft suede in the center of each of the flowers. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Then for these more open flowers, you're going to color those with the Daffodil Delight. So I always start with the lightest, and I color the whole thing here with the lightest. At least for these particular flowers, that's what I did. So once you have the whole thing colored, so you're going to color this one, and this one. Go in with your next Daffodil Delight, except in the dark, and just add a little touch of color towards the center and a little bit on the outer edge if you want. All right, I'm going to hold this up to the camera so you can see, but it looks really elegant, doesn't it? So magically, I colored those all in advance, so you don't have to watch me do that. And they look like this once they're colored and fussy cut. I'll hold it up again. Beautiful, right? Then if you're going to color on here, what are we coloring here? Because this is going to be popped up, right? So then, because you can kind of see underneath, what I do is I just take my Stampin' Blend and I'm just going to add a touch of color just to those outer sections. But I'm going to focus most of my effort on coloring the background. So in that case, I'm going to take, whoops, I grabbed the wrong one. I'm going to take my dark Daffodil Delight. I'm just going to color all of these little balls that you see. These can be colored any color, depending on what you want your card to be accented with, because we're going with such warm, kind of fall colors. I'm just using this dark Daffodil Delight on all of those little pops, just like this. Then, once you have all of those colored, you're going to take your dark Old Olive, and I take the fine tip, and you're going to go in, and you're just going to color those long segments. And it's just pretty quick and easy. And then you just color these leaves here. And of course, if I could have my head directly over what I'm coloring, it would look a lot better. But as you know, that's a little difficult. So let me show you on some that I pre-did what the final effect is here. So this is what's going to actually go on the card, and you'll see that not everything needs to be colored, because that's going to be hidden by our pop-up. But I did color kind of the outer sections just a little bit in here, so that if somebody peeks under that pop-up, they can see that it's colored underneath too. It's kind of sneaky, isn't it? All right, so there we go for that. But we don't want to put this on just yet, because we want to put our jar on first. So I'm going to set this aside, because now we have to stamp our jar. So once again, we're going to need some scrap paper. So I've got one jar done, but here's a piece of scrap. And again, it's from the Flowers for Every Season 6x6 Designer Series paper. Then we're going to take our jar, and we're going to do tone-on-tone stamping. So this is cinnamon cider background, and this is the cinnamon cider ink pad. And you can just set it in here. And this punch is really close. So you could probably get, like I could probably get 3 punches out of this small scrap of paper. I'm not going to do it right now, but that's pretty, I mean, that punch, I'll show you right now, because I'm going to punch it out. It punches pretty tight. I like it. So you can really maximize the use of your paper. So you can get a lot of jars from one 6x6 panel. So here we go. There it is. And just to prove my point, yes, you could get 2 more jars out of this one panel of paper, which is pretty impressive. All right, there we go. Let me put those things away. We have a little bit more stamping to do before we start assembling this card. And we're going to want some Whisper White scrap for that. So this time we are going to do our sentiment that's going on the outside of the card. So just stamp your happy birthday, and then another happy birthday. And there we go. Then you're going to take it to your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and cut those out. So they look like that. And then you're going to take a scrap of bumblebee paper and do the same thing, but this time we're not, you know, putting anything stamped on it. You're just cutting out 2 of those little pennants. So they will look like that. All right, so let me share now how to get this pennant onto here to have it have that elongated look. So you're going to take your scissors and just cut this in half. And then we're going to take some Stampin' Snail. Not snail. What did I call it? Stampin' Snail. Oh, it's not Stampin' Snail. It's Stampin' Seal. Forgive me, guys. I just have a habit of always calling things by the old names, and we don't even have those products anymore. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're just going to set this in just like so. So there's just a little bit peeking out on that side. And just a little bit peeking out on this side. Isn't that cute? And you've just made the cutest little banner for your card. So do the same thing over here. Just tuck it in there so it's just a little bit peeking out. And same thing over here. Isn't that great? It's just adorable. All right, now the fun begins. We can assemble. We've done a lot of work up to this point, and now it's time to assemble. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your prepared panels that look like this. Hold on. Things are flying around. All right, so let me get this off my, there we go. So now, this is the back side. Just go ahead and put a little Stampin' Seal on the back. Bring this in, and remember now, you've got to leave room over here for your sentiment, so you don't want it too much in the middle because then it's not going to work so great for your sentiment. So where you want to put this is just a little left to the center, and you want to get it pretty much the same amount at the top and the bottom, and of course be looking at your side to make sure everything measures up nice and straight. And then go ahead and also use Stampin' Seal here on your jar. And then you're going to set the jar so that it's, just about covering up those lines at the bottom. So yes, it is going to go up into your flower, but don't worry about that because you're going to put the overlaying flower over the top. Then you're going to use dimensionals on this little guy here. And then he's just going to get set. Oh, that dimensional didn't turn out. Hold on. Let me grab another one. It got folded over. There we go. So put your dimensional just like this. Or your dimensional sentiment just like that. And then grab one of your flowers that you've fussy cut. We probably should have put that on first. You guys can make improvements and probably do a lot better than I do. But then this just goes on right over the top. Just line it up with where you fussy cut so it's all part of that image. Look, isn't that beautiful? For the finishing touch, we're going to take some trim from all the trimmings. I think it's that particular product suite. I'm not sure what the exact name of the ribbon is. Let me grab a glue dot here. Oh, here they are. And this is going to be just the crowning touch here. So we're bringing in the old olive color that you see up in the branches. So that just goes right there. Isn't it sweet? Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, so one card is done. Let's go ahead and quickly do this other card here. So we're going to do exactly the same. I'm going to put this on right here, just a little bit left of center. Then we're going to take our jar and we're going to add that right below. And again, that's going to pop up into those flowers, but that's fine. No problem there. Then take your fussy cut flowers and you're going to take dimensionals again, pop those over the top, See, I do learn. Now I'm realizing I needed to put those on first. So we're going to put those right here. And then your pretty little sentiment that goes on the front of the card. Bring that in so it's about like so. And then we need our cute little ribbon. So we're going to take that with glue dots. Just one little glue dot right there at the top of the jar. Oh my gosh, you guys, isn't that pretty? So here we have our cards. Aren't they beautiful? In fact, I'll put them all out. Oh my goodness, so pretty. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. It was a true pleasure to be here. I hope you've enjoyed the sneak peek that we shared and all of these beautiful cards. You guys have a great day, and thanks for sharing and commenting. I'll make sure you're in the drawing for our Thursday giveaway, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.